Есть, нет? Неплохой день, господа. Давай, мочи! Вот тут друган мой бывал точно.
no ammo. And I have one shot. Jesus Christ. Ah, bruh. That's tough. No ammo. Alright, that's still fun. That's different.
A sophisticated open back. This video was proudly brought to you by Massdrop. They've sent me a pair of their AKG K7XX reference picture, a very wear. Absolutely, if you let's get into audio is within Escape from Tarkov. I guarantee if you master audio by watching this video and practicing a hell of a lot, your guys' survival rates will go up massively, and you will be able to get out with more gear, get more player kills, and just have an overall more enjoyable experience. At least set used to the sound that comes from your speakers, although it will put you at slight disadvantage for you is always have your in-game volume all the way up. This is just a blatantly obvious tip because you'll be able to hear people from a further distance. You will be able to immerse yourself more because the volume is way up, and you will be able to block out more background noise, and you'll be able to hear things coming from the audio, although it's on an inside on the outside.
Oh my god, yeah.
If you are walking near, and many players will be hard to counter you, that you need to will be able to. If they are, then you need to be very careful. Try not to move yourself and listen out, just not as much. I'm now going to be breaking down a few quick clips of playtime over the past few days. Come out nice and quick.
Oh my god, shut up.
Where is that Chicky Bricky? Oh shit. I cannot hear him also. Why are you hiding in the bushes? Are you taking a dump? No dude, I am hiding from the scab. Oh, that's Scav. He went over there. You cannot hear him? No dude, I heard the scare and he was somewhere around me, and now I cannot hear him anymore. Can you at least see him? I have made the video how to see during the nighttime. How the hell should I play during the nighttime? It is 8 PM. Oh yeah, you're right. You have watched that video. Did you subscribe? No, I didn't subscribe. Why should I subscribe, dude? You have like 2K views per video. Oh really? Okay. Good luck with finding the scab. No, please, don't leave me. Please! No!
Вон он!
Hello YouTube, what is up? Eroctic here. In today's video I'm gonna give you 5 tips and tricks that I'm using every single day. Tip number 1: enhancing your audio. There is the decibel limit and you cannot go any louder. In my case I'm using the Sharkoon headset, and I'm guessing that every single headset is gonna have a different software. For example, my Sharkoon does not have any software, but when I right click on the speaker on the bottom right of my taskbar, and when I open the playback devices, I just find my headphones, click the properties, and there is the volume. Under default, the volume of my headsets was 67. However, I can easily adjust it on 100%. And on top of that, there are the enhancements. I'm not sure if every single headset has the same thing, but I'm gonna just bring it out. I'm currently testing the loudness equalization. it is gonna improve the decibels, the quiet decibels and the loud decibels. And if there is some expert between you guys that are watching this video, please leave in the comments what do you recommend. But the whole point in doing this is that you can hear sneaking much better. And I'm gonna keep using this scroll on medium in the gunfights, and when I need to hear better, I'm gonna go all the way up on the maximum. Tip number 2, silent reloading and skipping animation. In the Escape from Tarkov, you actually need to manually reload the empty magazines. When you have your weapon out, by pressing R, it is gonna go through the animation, it is gonna pick up the old magazine, and it is gonna place the full magazine. My primary weapon is AK-74. My AK is empty and there is the enemy next to me. If I reload, he's gonna hear my reload. But if I switch on the hatchet or on the pistol or on the SKS, second primary weapon, I can open my inventory, click unload on my AK inside of my AK. Reload my AK because there is no animation. If somebody engages on me, I can quickly close my inventory and kill him with the SKS, kill him with the hatchet, kill him with the pistol, depends on the weapon that you switched. But if the enemy will not engage on me, I can reload my AK without making any sound. Keep in mind that you need to have at least one bullet in the chamber, or else he's gonna enter in the animation when he fills up the bullet in the chamber. Tip number 3. Prone looting. In most of the cases, whenever you are looting something, you're gonna loot or crouched or standing. There are, for example, file cabinets or the green crates. When you're opening the crates, there is gonna be animation. So when you press F, it is gonna enter in the animation of opening the crate, and then it is gonna open the inventory and searching box. There is a little trick in that. Right after you press F, spam the prone button. During this animation, while he's opening the boxes or crates or whatever, your character is gonna go prone and you're gonna still enter into the searching box. And you can search the crates or cabinets or whatever while you're prone. It is gonna drastically increase your chance of survival because your enemies cannot actually see you while you're prone. Well, they can, but a little bit tougher. Keep in mind that there are some boxes that are a little bit higher than the usual, and you cannot go prone with them, but you can go crouched in them. And there is one more thing that I want to say about this. You actually need to have some space between the crate and you. The further you are from the crate, the easier it's gonna be for your character to go in the prone mode. Tip number 4. Grenade looting in the dorms. 11 minutes? Wow, we're fast. There is a car parked in front of the dorms into the costumes, and he has the grenade box in his trunk. You don't need to have a key to search for this grenade box. What you need to do is jump on top of the car on front side, walk on top of the trunk, go in the crouch mode, and just start looking down. Somewhere in the middle of the trunk, you're gonna see that search is gonna pop out. Press F, loot the grenades, you're welcome. And tip number 5, maximum effectiveness while looting in a raid. I'm always recommending everyone always insure your weapons. The reason why is because that insurance is gonna help you even more if you successfully exit from the raid. Here's the trick. Every single item that is insured, if it stays in the raid, you're gonna get it back. Which means, if you're fully loaded with the weapons and the items, you can drop every single item that is insured in the hidden place on the map, where you know that the enemies will not search for it, and you can loot even more on you. You're gonna exit from the raid with the new weapons, and after a day or two, the insured weapons are gonna come back. I wanna also thank to my lovely Patreons: Brett Roberts, Brian Eden, Chase Phelan, Dark Deli, Durell Green, Yanko K, Mindblank, Piemun, Richard Petron, and Tom Griffin. Those are the people that are supporting my channel a little bit more than the rest of you, but I'm gonna also love you if you click that subscribe button. That is it for now. Thank you guys for watching, and see you on the live stream. Euroctic out.
what's in the woods? Find the dollar, find the dollar, what's in the woods? Find the dollar, find the dollar, what's in the woods?
Чё за нахуй? Чё за нахуй? Чё за нахуй? Адидас. Чё за нахуй? Чё за нахуй шаришь ты? Люди хотят колбасы. Шампань нахуй первый раз. Пацан в штанах Адидас. Чё за нахуй шаришь? Первый раз. Пацан в штанах Адидас. Люди хотят колбасы. Опа, блядь.
Don't you turn on me.
Капец, все служивые! Чего, блядь? Вот петух!
No. Rat attack incoming. Okay, one was that a Vapor? Yo, is that the M4 guy? I just gotta confirm that it's a no. That's a 5.7. That's an AK. Yo, 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 yo. What up with the M4? Bruh, don't do me like that. Wait, maybe I was right. Maybe it was downstairs. Oh, the new grenade. Katopka! Katopka! No M4. Got it. My arm stamina is gone.
Anything your heart desires will come to you.
If he quick peeks, I'm dead. That was above. you alive? Definitely need a stupid emote. And I just backed that up. What a champ.
Свистни в хуй! Сейчас тебе пиздец придет!
Alright. What floor was that? Was that the 3rd floor? Diversion! He's feeling good.
For as long as I can remember, there's been two kinds of people in the first-person shooter world. People who have the ability to use sound to their advantage, and people who can't or simply don't see the value that proper sound localization provides you. Now, some people swear by virtual surround sound, expensive 7.1 surround gaming headphones, complicated custom EQ settings or amplifiers, expensive sound cards, and the like. In my personal experience, accurately identifying and locating sound is the most important factor to my success in nearly every engagement in any first-person shooter, and it's a whole lot simpler than many people think.
Скупщику все продам и заживем.
This video aims to explain how sound localization works, both in real life and in video games like Escape from Tarkov, and offer some tips and tricks so that you can get the most out of your current audio setup. Now, in order for anything that I'm going to be discussing here to make sense to you, you need to at least have a basic understanding of what sound is. So here's the TLDR. Sounds are vibrations or waves of pressure in 3D space. Using sounds in the left and right channels using a pair of knockoff Apple earbuds that I paid less than $5 for, plugged directly into my gaming PC's headphone jack without any special EQ settings or software to help me, I have absolutely no problem localizing to inform where the target is most likely located. Now just be aware that some places in Tarkov are notoriously bad when it comes to sounds. The first one that comes to mind is the 3-story dorms on custom, even to return fire. Then if I'm a juggernaut tank, deaf, can't hear anything or see anything, and I go toe-to-toe with them, hoping that I can outlive their shots and kill them before they kill me. For most of the early and mid-game after the wipe, I find myself wearing contacts, preferably Sordens, when I can get them, even without a helmet. Now, I find the additional awareness that I'm afforded with the active headphones for comparably cheaper price worth more than the additional protection I get from helmets, especially without face shields. And now it seems in that point 12, they've made noticeable changes to how the headphones sound. So I'll likely be doing an update to my headphone review video. A tone will play randomly around your 360-degree field of hearing, and you're going to swipe left and right on the phone. Just now, once you use perspective, located relative to where your character is looking to get a feel for it if you're having trouble. Now, I'm actually really proud of this feature. This was the first time I ever found a unique and practical use for trigonometry in all my years of doing software development. So I hope you guys enjoy it. You know, I could potentially be adding, you know, different difficulty levels, maybe make more of a mini game out of it in the future. Let me know what you guys think. So at the end of the day, you should use whatever sound settings, EQ settings, headphones, or whatever you prefer. If you swear by it, feel like you can't play without something, by all means, use it. Just know that the actual realistic limitations on the technology, the millions of dollars in marketing hype around it all, and try not to be fooled into thinking you need anything fancy to be able to.
Mr Ross is coordinating a cross-party letter to the government asking for a reduction on VAT and energy bills. Is that something they're willing to look favourably upon to support our constituents who will have higher energy bills as a result of staying at home?
Well, we're certainly very happy to look at whatever letter the honourable gentleman on a cross-party basis or his colleagues may wish to present with us.
Stuart Anderson.
Thank you, Mr Speaker. I want to follow on from my gallant friend from Bournemouth East and talk about our great armed forces. I've expressed my delight of the budget of 10 million identified for veterans' mental health. Can the Chancellor confirm that this will still remain a priority as this problem doesn't go away?
Yeah.
Well, I'm happy to give that assurance. I know my honourable friend is a champion, and quite rightly so, of our armed forces and speaks with great experience and authority on that. And he'll be aware of a number of measures that my right honourable friend, the Chancellor, has announced. That is one of them, and we stand by it.
Kevin Brennan.
Mr Speaker, can I say to the Chancellor, a couple of times in the context of talking about the self-employed, he's mentioned wealthy people whose incomes are increasing. That's not what we're talking about. Yeah. We're talking about people who've lost their entire income overnight. And so, can the Chancellor please provide some more reassurance that it is his intention to provide help to those people? It is his intention to say how he's going to do that.
What the fuck is going on? Да иди ты нахуй. Ну какого черта? Fuck this. Why was he not hitting the shit? Straight. Not a bug. I've been trying to very long with this shit. I actually killed him. Holy shit. Like, what is this? I don't know why I opened it.
Very as long as activity is channeled through a business account. We are also removing the minimum income floor for the self-employed workers affected by coronavirus so that they too can access universal credit in full, which is not only the standard allowance, but also for those with children, disabilities or indeed housing needs, a wider package of support. At the same time, the next self-assessment income tax payments will be deferred until January 2021, helping those who had set money aside for those tax payments with immediate cash flow. Which means that there is a package on tax, on loans, and more widely through universal credit to support those through that safety net. Let me reassure everyone in this House and the self-employed people you represent that further help is indeed coming. But we have to make sure we get this right and target the right support towards those who are most in need. The Chancellor will provide a further update on support for the self-employed in the coming days.
Can I thank the Chief Secretary Treasury for that answer? And he knows that parties on all sides of the House have been supportive of the way the Chancellor and the Treasury have given support to businesses and to employees. But I have to tell him, for the 5 million self-employed people across the country who are in all our constituencies, they are in real stress. They are deeply worried. Yep. And while we all understand there are complications, the government has to move as fast as possible to meet their concerns because they are literally, in many cases, simply running out of money. Yep. And I want to say this to the Treasury bench. It's important who we remember who the self-employed are. 80% of the 5 million self-employed are sole traders. They are our neighbours, our friends, our family. The vast majority are not wealthy people. They are cleaners. They are taxi drivers. They are plumbers. They are hairdressers. They are musicians, tutors and journalists. They are builders and electricians. They are childminders. These are people who are literally running out of money now, and we have to support them. Of course, there'll be those stories of people who are wealthy, who are self-employed, of course, but they are the minority. And if you look at the figures, HMRC's own data, 36% of sole traders, the majority of the self-employed, have taxable incomes less than £10,000 a year. And that compares with just 15% of employees on incomes that low. So we're talking about people on low incomes. 60% had profits of less than £10,000 a year. So these are people who were struggling before the coronavirus pandemic and are now facing ruin. Mr. Speaker, I think that an urgent package of help is needed now, and it's needed to be at least the equivalent to that that's been offered to employees. And while we all know the problems that the Treasury are facing getting this, can I say to him, if the package is capped in the way it was for the employees, if it is temporary, as it was in the case for the employees, and if, especially for the self-employed, there is some sort of clawback mechanism, if people are being given money that they didn't need, then surely we can come together as a house, as a country, to make sure these people get the support that they need. It is not uncommon for the self-employed, when they do their annual self-assessment tax return, to have to pay money back to the Treasury. Surely, if money is given now so they can deal with the cash flow, capped in a temporary scheme, then that money can be clawed back the next time they do their self-assessment if it turns out that they didn't need it. So I honestly urge the Treasury Bank, Mr. Speaker, to move fast and not to allow the perfect to be the enemy of the good. People need the money now. Please, please act now.
Well, the right honourable gentleman is right to emphasise the importance of timing and speed in this regard. And he also spoke in terms of how that could be targeted and the fact that there are many very deserving causes within the population. But it's probably also useful just to draw the House's attention to the fact that 1 in 10 of those who are self-employed are over state pension aid. Over 2 in 10, according to the 17-18 figures, were earning less than £2,000 of income, suggesting it wasn't their main source of income. Between 1.5 and 2 out of 10 are already on universal credit. Some of those remainders will be quite well paid, such as law partners and others, and some will be in employment and working, returning self-employment tax forms for part of their income in addition to their employment. So the point is that the population itself is complex, and we need to ensure that the measures are targeted correctly. He mentioned also, in terms of the mechanism, one of the themes that has informed the Treasury's approach is what is operationally deliverable as well, and that's one of the things that we're working through, because, for example, HMRC does not hold people's bank accounts, which is why the support package for those in employment was through the PAY system. And as the Chancellor, my right honourable friend, set out at Treasury Questions, the tax data is 1.5 years old. So these are the issues we're working through. He's absolutely right. Urgency is important. That is why the Chancellor is engaged on this, but it is a complex population that we are seeking to target.
Sir Graham Brady.
Recognising the complexity of solving this problem, can he give some indication of how quickly he would expect to have at least an interim solution in place for those who are desperate for help and desperate for clarity at this point?
So for some within this population, not all, but for some within this population, there will be some solution already through the loan that is available as of yesterday, the £5 million loan. That will not cover the entirety of this population, but in accordance with the business needs of some of those that are self-employed, there is support there. For some of the population, again, by no means all, there will be some relief through some of the measures the Chancellor set out in terms of property, business rate relief. But part of the complexity of the target population is that different measures work for different groups. That is part of what my right honourable friend is working through, but I recognise the point that he raises and other honourable members have raised, which is we do recognise the importance of timing on this issue.
Shadow Chancellor John MacDonald.
Can I say to the honourable gentleman and other members, no one's looking for a row over this. We're looking for a solution. And the reason that some members became irritated earlier was the emphasis in one of the Chancellor's responses on rich self-employed. They're not the people who are contacting us. They're exactly the same as he said. The ones that are contacting me at the moment are the plumbers, the hairdressers. Yes, some of the freelance artists as well, and others. They're in desperate straits. There isn't a member of the House, I don't think, who hasn't received representations. We're just looking for something that we can go back with them today to give them some assurance. We know how complicated it is, but we've got to find a solution quickly. I'd urge the government to at least set a deadline now that we can go back to our members and say, by the end of this week, there will be a proposal brought forward. The other assurance that people want is the thing the right honourable gentleman raised. If we can go back and say you will get the equivalent, the 80% or whatever, to what was offered on Friday to other workers, I think it would lift people's spirits that there's something is on the way. I also think as well that, look, many of these self-employed workers are that, just as other workers are having to sign themselves off sick. They don't have access to statutory sick pay still. And I have to say, asking people to survive on £94.25 a week is just an impossible ask. And when the Secretary of State for Health was asked on television last week, could he live on it, he said no. And I agree with him. We need the level of sick pay raised for everybody if we're expecting them to actually choose not to work and not have to choose between health and hardship. Can I say also one other point that was raised in discussions and Treasury questions? Many self-employed workers may need to work reduced hours and cannot be furloughed in the same way as other workers under the scheme announced on Friday. The Chancellor suggested in Treasury questions that workers on reduced hours would not be covered by the scheme. If that is correct, what other work is being done to provide support for those workers, but also for the self-employed as well? One final point, in the Treasury questions as well, different groups and categories of workers were raised. I know it's complicated, but we do have to look at agency workers. It was raised by my honourable friend, but also we now I've had nothing but emails, telephone calls from people working in the construction sector who don't know whether they should be at work today or whether if they go to work, they'll be safe. But also, let's use this opportunity as well to look at the exploitation by payroll companies and umbrella companies of people who are forcibly designated in many instances as self-employed. As I say, we don't want to row over this. We want to work with the government. In fact, Annalise and I are happy to come and do a shift if the Treasury wants. But we just want a solution. Might come up with slightly different solutions. But we need it quickly. And we need it effectively as soon as possible.
Well, just to help the House, I'm aiming for about 120. Minister.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Well, first, can I welcome the constructive tone that the right honourable gentleman has struck, and whilst his offer to come into the Treasury may contravene some of the social distancing requirements of late, I do appreciate the spirit in which he made that point. And he's right, which is that we do need to move at pace, and we do need to work together on this, and that is indeed why my right honourable friend, the Chancellor, has been engaging in further meetings this morning and will do so later today as we work through how to take this forward. In terms of the comments from my right honourable friend, the Chancellor, what he was drawing attention to was the complexity of the target population. And I think a number of members of the House would have concerns, not least as we look at, to the future, if we were subsidising some very wealthy of the self-employed. I take the point they're not the ones getting in touch with the right honourable gentleman, but it is important that our approach is mindful of what the target population is and how we address that. He raised the issue of reassurance, and I think that is a legitimate concern and one shared across the House. And I would draw the attention of his constituents, the constituents of colleagues on all sides of the House, to the comments that the Chancellor set out this morning, that we are working at pace on this. We recognise the issue that is being raised, and I hope that does provide reassurance, certainly in terms of an announcement, albeit the operation of any solution may take some further time, as the Chancellor set out. So there is considerable work going on. The population is complex. We are looking, as was raised in Treasury questions, at the burdens on different delivery mechanisms, whether that is through DWP, but also on local authorities, who themselves have their own staffing pressures in terms of those that are off ill. It is why we're exercising flexibility in lots of other areas to reprioritise resource into those areas to support. But it is important we have a scheme that is deliverable and is mindful of the other challenges that we're dealing with.
So, Edward Lee,
may I make a point from a public accounts point of view and urge on the Chief Secretary a system which is humane and rapid and above all simple. The Treasury traditionally and the Department of Work and Pensions are obsessed with complexity, targeting and clawback. So what we need is a simple system. Now, about 40 years ago, I suggested universal basic income to Mrs. Thatcher, and I got an earful for it, for my pains. But something like that, which is very simply rolled out, which can be claimed by the taxi drivers, the cleaners, these sort of people. Rich people will not bother with this. So just get on with it, make it simple, and do it now.
My right friend, as I say, wants us to get on to it. I refer to the meetings, the considerable work that is going on to get on with this. But as a former chair of the Public Accounts Committee, he will well know that many policy ideas start with the simple, but then the devil is in the detail of its delivery. And I recall many an interview he has given drawing attention to simple schemes that then were less simple when they were sought to be delivered. And I think what's worth bearing in mind is if one looks at, for example, the self-employed population, there will be some, again, a small number, but some who may be doing quite well in the current climate. Not what we are focusing on now, but there's some people whose trading will have seen a very small proportion. But there are many, many others who are suffering. And the question we're seeking to address is how do we target our measures at those who are most deserving, which is what the attention of the House is focused on, and we need to ensure that the scheme that is brought forward does likewise.
Chris Stevens.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I did realise and read in newspapers years ago there was a red Ed in the House of Commons. I didn't quite realise it was the honourable gentleman. But can I also have to try and have a conciliatory tone with the Chief Secretary? Obviously, there's very real concern. Like other members of the House, I've been bombarded with emails from people who are self-employed. And after this crisis is over, I think we really should sort out who is self-employed and who should be directly employed as well. But that's a debate for another time. So can I ask the Chief Secretary of the Treasury, we know of other countries like Norway, Denmark and Belgium who have come up with schemes for the self-employed, and whether he's looking at those international examples, because surely if they're working in Norway, Denmark and Belgium, they can work in the UK. There are 330,000 self-employed workers in Scotland: creative industry, agriculture, forestry, fishing, construction, taxi drivers and the like. So can I ask him, if the government is looking at increasing the weekly level of sick pay from £94.25 to the equivalent of a week's pay at the real living wage, are they considering removing the lower earnings limit for qualification for sick pay to ensure that everyone can access it? And are they also looking at ending the 5-week wait in universal credit so that the first payment can be a grant and a real payment, not a loan?
The issue of advance payments and universal credit. Firstly, one of the measures the Chancellor has taken is to increase the standard allowance. That's not the total quantum that people will get. I referred earlier to, for example, those with children, those with housing needs, those with disability, who will get more. And we have also changed it in terms of access, so people can get it quickly without face-to-face meetings, get it from day one. Linked to that, one of the issues with the advance payment that was often raised in the House was the concerns with then the subsequent repayments, But clearly, with the increase, the £20 a week increase that has been announced for universal credit, that eases in terms of some of the repayment issues, or it gives more within the allowance that will then be addressed in terms of the repayment. So there's been a significant increase in the universal credit, in part to address the issues there. And again, there's some operational complexity around a shift to a grant system because of the way that the IT system within universal credit has been set up. So we've sought to address the concern he refers to through the increase, and of course an advance can still be offered. In terms of statutory sick pay, again, changes have been made to facilitate that being paid from day one, and changes made, for example, in terms of employers with 250 or fewer employees, in terms of the measures that the Chancellor set out to support those businesses with those costs. He also mentioned, and this was a point in the previous answer, in terms of simplicity, and let me just clarify the point that I was making. The vast majority of people who are self-employed are suffering. That's what we recognise. But in designing the scheme, we are looking as to how we can design something that addresses the operational challenge that other members have spoken to. So let me give you an example. Part of the merits of the scheme that the Chancellor set out with what is, I think, for many people, a new concept of furloughing members of staff was because that gave a clarity operationally to the delivery of that scheme. So we are, in answer to both the previous question and the issue that the Honourable Gentleman raises, looking at what is operationally deliverable quickly, what can be done in a way that recognises the other challenges that apply, for example, in DWP and elsewhere. What is one that doesn't leave open the question that a small proportion of people who shouldn't be getting the targeted action get the support? So we focus it on the much larger cadre of people who deserve that help.
Thank you. In designing his scheme, will the Chief Secretary recognise that many self-employed people in the tourism sector have very seasonal businesses? So, for example, using February as a reference month would not be appropriate. Would he particularly see what can be done to help recreational charter fishermen who, because they pay harbour dues rather than business rates, have not been able to access the grant aid that their friends across the road from the harbour have been able to?
The Right Honourable Gentleman, in essence, draws attention to the challenge that emerged with some of the earlier questions, because the simpler the scheme, the less it accommodates often legitimate and deserving issues that members raise on behalf of their constituents. So very happy to have further discussions with him, but he will recognise the tension between simplicity and addressing all of the concerns that colleagues raise.
I have two constituents. One is that they're both musicians. One's in an orchestra, the other one is a freelancer. One will get 80% of his income paid, the other will be on statutory sick pay. Surely it's better to have a system where one wealthy freelancer benefits and 100 don't go hungry?
Exactly right.
Well, again, as I referred to the earlier comments I made,
Oh, I know why the matching is long. I put one less server. I mean, not one. I put just one server active. That's why it's taking longer. Damn. Alright, I need to put a few back. I think I went too far. I went too far. Escape. Damn. Oh yeah, new folder. Nope. New folder. Oh, come on. Where did I put it? Shoot. Oh, there we go. Change server. Oh my god. 4 minutes? Damn, boy. Wow. Alright, let me go back. I'll fix it here now. I changed the server. I think I put the spark, Nico, man. Just gonna restart the game here. Oh yeah, let me just go know what's going.
Get it if they didn't quite need it, to benefit the majority of people, self-employed, who will.
Well, I think these are issues which the Treasury is looking at in the design of the scheme. We recognise that for the vast majority of people that are self-employed, they are facing very considerable challenges now. And in the design of the scheme, we are very mindful of that and the urgency that goes with it.
Over 400 self-employed sole traders and freelancers have already contacted me over the past 24 hours, and many of whom have already lost their work due to this crisis. So as well as echoing calls made by others to introduce support to them as soon as possible, can I also ask the Minister to ensure that these measures of support are backdated, as the Jobs Retention Scheme, to help address the disruption that has already been caused by the COVID-19 epidemic?
Well, I hear what the Honourable Minister says in terms of things being backdated, but I think one of the challenges to date has been that the range of measures that the Treasury has brought forward hasn't always been understood in terms of what is already announced and what is already available. I draw attention to the fact that we are deferring income tax self-assessments, which won't need to be paid until January. We're supporting people through the welfare system with the measures I announced earlier, including on contributory ESA. We're increasing the universal credit and working tax credit by £1,000. We're suspending the minimum income floor for 12 months. We're introducing a 3-month mortgage holiday for those in difficulty. The self-employed will be eligible to receive support with their tax affairs through time to pay. The business interruption loan scheme will be available for some self-employed individuals up to the £5 million limit, and we have delayed IR35 as well. And I think one of the things that all members of the House can assist our small business.
Пальчик-лыки. All right. This guy's stacked, holy moly. One. Oh, I hear him. of the other mag. Dropped it by mistake again. Fucking hell.
That should be.
Ну что, неплохой день, господа.
Sounds good. Don't stop on it. Buckshot.
Давай, мочи их! Вот и петуха! Пацанам не ебашь, гандон! Хуйло, вот хуйло! Конец тебе! Давай, мочи их! Упырь!
I can never tell where the hell are they.
Слышь, ты импортный! Покоп нахуй, понял? Вон он, блядь, ебать его!
Oh, yeah. Come on. Whew, aced it. Nice one.
This community with, and in particular the self-employed at this time, is also drawing attention to the measures that have already been announced, and we in government stand ready to do that through a comms campaign. For example, we don't hold people's bank accounts or how we would do it. It's how we roll this out. But the wider point he's raising, we recognise, which is that there are immediate issues for many self-employed people. That is what we're working, we don't hold people's actively on. That is what my right honourable friend, the Chancellor, is engaged on in further meetings today. And as I said in the previous answer, we hope to bring proposals forward in the coming days.
Ollie Ray.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. You mentioned earlier the business interruption loan scheme. Will you confirm that all self-employed people will have access to it, that they won't have to give personal guarantees, and that they'll widen the scheme to include people like Oak North and Aldermore, interruption loan scheme, excluded from eligibility?
We're looking into that, but it is available as of now. It goes up to 5 million, and my understanding is it doesn't require personal guarantees. If it's any different, I will come back to him on that point.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. My constituent in the East Nuka Fife runs a mobile catering business providing a service to both private and public events such as festivals. Having no fixed premises means that the support announced so far they don't benefit from, and the relaxation of planning rules that other food outlets can also benefit from to do home deliveries is also an issue, and they're struggling like many others to access business interruption insurance. The independent mobile catering sector could be utilised to support and provide sustenance for our key workers at this time. What amendments to the measures will the Chief Secretary consider to support this critical sector?
So, well, I know my right honourable friend, the Secretary of State for DEFRA, is looking at a range of options in terms of how we adapt to the change of circumstances. For example, many pubs, restaurants had significant food orders, so looking at what it means there. There's food that would have been exported previously, where there may be difficulties in exporting. So there's a range of measures in terms of the food supply within which mobile caterers will have a role, and I know that the right honourable gentleman, the member for the Secretary of State for DEFRA, is looking at these issues.
Bob Blackman.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. In my constituency, I have a large number of families where one partner works in the National Health Service and the other is self-employed. The children now have been sent home from school and there's no one to look after them because if they don't work, they don't get paid in the self-employed. So can my right honourable friend look at an urgency of the scheme, but also very specific...
Okay, which one do I do, though? Do I do Nightmare? Ultra Nightmare? No, not Ultra Nightmare. No. Ultra Nightmare, if you die once, your campaign is over. Oh my god. That sucks. We'll just do Nightmare. We're just gonna do Nightmare. This shit's fun. This shit's actually kind of hard. Doing these gates are challenging. Okay. Dude, these mother... Oh, they do so much damage. These little plebs do so much damage and pisses me off. Fuck. It's so fucking easy to get overwhelmed, dude. So easy. No. Alright, let's finish this level and then we'll stop playing Doom for the night. What's up, bitch?
I thought you would appreciate the sentry I chose. The great Argadon hunters from the Telos realm, though long thought to be extinct, created to hunt only the Slayer and his night sentinels during the unholy crusade.
Yeah.
Some improvements on their design have been made. Enjoy what is undoubtedly my finest work.
Okay. Kind of started that, brother. Ow! What the fuck? Let me out! That is some bullshit, bro. That is some straight horse shit. I got fucking CC'd like it's wow, bro.
Perfect. Okay, we're chilling now.
Excellent. Smash the heretic. Useless machine, attack! Excellent. Smash the heretic. We are not done yet. Excellent. Smash the heretic.
Ow. Are you fucking kidding me? He just aimbots me real quick? I'm pissed. I'm pissed. Literally just aimbotted me right there. That's some bullshit. Fuck, man. That's a bummer.
The beast. Does he not seek enhanced power? Gifts to aid him in his noble conquest. Perhaps in return for my
That was so bad, bro. That was so bad. I should not have lost a single fucking life, man. You ever use the hook on the super shotgun? Yeah, normally you don't want to use it though, because like, if it gets you closer to them, it's bad, you know? This is oddly satisfying. I mean, the game's fun. The game's really fun. Does the stash ever get full? I mean, if you want it to be full, you can make it full. It's totally up to you, the user. Oh, damn, this game feels good. Dude, my frames right now are fucking nice. I'm getting some high FPS right now. Holy fuck, that's a lot of people. What in the world? Little fucking hatchlings and pistol players try to get into my room? Nuh-uh. Nope. My room. Oh, there's one more. That dude was so blind. Oh my god. Oh! What the heck is going on? This guy's got gear. Oh my goodness. That's a clip right there for sure. No, those weren't stream snipers. It's just how this map's played. This map has a lot of points of interest. And I was just in one of them.
Specifically, right now, the council tax bills become due on the 1st of April, next week. And people are worried, particularly in London, how they'll be able to pay them. Can they be suspended?
Well, my honourable friend will recall that within the budget itself there was targeted action specifically on the point of council tax. There's a £500 million package to allow targeted support on council tax. I think he's drawing his attention to a slightly wider issue of concern, particularly where one other household is working in the NHS as a key worker and one is at home. Of course, that draws our attention to the fact
the party has just begun. Wow, look at all these people. I wish I could dance like that. Gee, it must be great.
everyone. I don't want to step on those mats. Tony, how do you feel about this atmosphere? It's been almost a year out of competition for you. All these fans are here. What's it feel like?
We're here to fucking stay. I want to say thank you to all my fans. I'm not going to have a big old speech for you. You guys know you don't like to hear me talk. All you want to see is the walk. So come UFC 229, I'm going to bring a little bit of steel to that cage. Remember the fucking name. Tony Okakui Ferguson's here to fucking stay. I want to thank you to my wife, thank you to my kids, thank you to my fucking team, every single one of them, for not giving up on me. I had a surgery, 5 months it took me. Anything that you guys are going through, anything that you're fucking battling right now, listen to me. I don't care if you fucking hate me. I don't care if you fucking love me. Anything that you're going through right now, know that there's light at the end of that fucking tunnel. Always know that there's room for growth. Allow yourself to grow. Allow yourself to make mistakes. Allow yourself to fail. Why? Because there's no success without failure. If you don't know how to battle back from attrition, look at this motherfucker right here. 5 months, they told me 1 year. 1 fucking year. All the doctors said, you can't go back. They took my title. They took a couple zeros off my paycheck. But motherfuckers, I'm still here fucking smiling. Just kidding.
El Kukui, Tony Ferguson!
The Fix Finder tool from AutoZone is a fast source of relief. It tells you what's the most likely fix for your engine light on the spot. For her, a gas cap. For them, new spark plugs. Need a repair shop? We can help with that too. So, how will the AutoZone Fix Finder help you? This torque wrench is on a mission. It helped this guy on his ride. He fixed that, him and his engine, and her with a brake job. And it's just one of 100 specialty tools that AutoZone loans for free. So what are you gonna do with it?
Connor's not here yet, and Khabib said he's not going to wait. He wants to start the press conference without him. Does anybody in the media have a question for Khabib?
Well, Habib,
I don't know if my crew is ready. Let's get some mics down here, you guys. So.
Good. Habib, all right. Well, Habib, let's ask how you feel about this. I mean, you're here at a press conference by yourself. Give me an idea what the emotion is like for you having to be here by yourself and no Connor.
Hey, I don't need to wait for nobody. This is 3 p.m. Friends is here, media is here, everybody is here. Done a little bit late, it's okay. But 3 p.m. I beginning. If you guys have questions, let's go.
Well, Habib, of course, this is a huge opportunity for you. Massive fight, biggest fight of all time in UFC history. Let me ask you, what do you think this does for your career? What comes next? What do you see? You know, we saw Conor get 2 belts. We've seen people go weight classes. What do you do after the biggest fight in UFC history?
Honestly, I don't know. Because I'm not underestimate this guy, you know. I'm preparing, my weight is good. Tonight I have to make weight, and it's like after tomorrow. I'm focused on after tomorrow. After, we will see. We're gonna talk after this fight.
Thanks, Habib. And Dana, if I could just quickly for you, I mean, what's your emotion right now? The biggest star in the sport, all these people wanting to see Conor, and he's not here. I mean, what's your take on that?
Listen, man, I'm excited. I can't wait for the weigh-ins. I can't wait for the fight. And Connor's in a car right now. He's on his way here, so he'll be here in a few minutes. But yeah, I'm excited. So far, so good. Everything's been perfect, and I'm ready for the fight, man.
And Dana, just lastly for you, I mean, between the main and the co-main, huge fights at lightweight, right? I mean, the future of the division looks exciting, but we still got that Dustin and Nate fight out there that we're wondering what's up with that, because that would seem to factor into a future title shot as well. Can you give us any updates? Is that fight happening? Is it a main event?
We're still working on New York, and yeah, but as far as I know right now, that fight's happening. Yes.
Could that be a main event? I saw you on Instagram telling
Not the
people.
main event.
Okay, thanks.
Khabib, Conor always tries different things to get inside your head. Are you surprised that he's not here, or were you expecting something like this?
If you talk about he go inside my head, we're gonna see Saturday night. We're gonna see this.
Are you surprised that he's not here, or were you expecting this?
No, I don't think about him. You know, I have a schedule. 3 p.m. press conference has to begin because I have schedule. I have to make weight. I have to worry about myself. Why I have to think about him? He come or not? If somebody late, this is not my problem.
Brooklyn happened 6 months ago, almost exactly 6 months ago. Are you still angry about what happened then?
Little bit. If I say no, this is not true. Little bit, of course, I'm angry, a little bit emotional, but my job, when I go to the cage, I have to control my emotional, I have to stay relaxed, but keep going and maul this guy.
Does the anger help you?
Sometimes this happens. Sometimes this help you, sometimes it's not, but most important, stay relaxed when you go to the cage. This is most important.
Хабиб, салам алейкум. Скажи, пожалуйста, после боя, если Конор протянет тебе руку, ты пожмешь ее?
Нет.
Khabib, down here to your left. Back in New York a few weeks ago, Conor said a few things about your teammates, your family, your fellow countrymen. Is Conor safe going to Russia these days?
Sorry, bro. Sorry. One more again. Sorry about it.
Go ahead.
Conor said a lot of things about your fellow countrymen and your family. Is he safe going to Russia these days?
He can say whatever he wants. When alcoholic, someone drunk guy talk, nobody cares about him. We just leave him alone, ignore him, and when we go to the cage, we will see who's gonna talk.
Just lastly, the weight cut. We know it's always difficult. How much have you got left to cut tonight, and how much are you weighing right now?
Hey, weight cut is always is hard. Always is hard. Thursday, this is my weight cut day, and you know that's why I don't wanna wait for someone 30 minutes, 40 minutes. That's why 3 p.m. press conference. After press conference, I have to go home and focus on my weight cut.
Khabib, question for you. Win or lose, will you shake Conor's hand after the fight? Win or lose, will you shake Conor's hand after the fight?
I'm gonna shake his hand?
After the fight, win or lose,
No.
will you?
No way. No way.
Why not?
Because
Khabib, over here, I know you're on a strict schedule. How much time are you going to wait for Conor to get here? Do you have to leave after a certain period of time?
I don't know. I don't know.
Okay.
We will see. Maybe 2 minutes, maybe 20 minutes. I'm gonna let you know, guys, before I leave.
Tony Ferguson was at the media day today and he brought his belt. He believes he's the real champion. What's your response to that?
Hey, you have to believe. You have to believe. When you fight like this high-level fight, you know, you have to believe you're the champ. Nobody can beat you. It's okay. I'm okay about this. But I'm not okay about when Dana say, where's Conor belts? I'm not okay about this because Dana already know where's Conor belts. Max Holloway and Khabib Nurmagomedov. He have to know, but, you know, he bring with him belts, like believe himself. It's okay. I'm okay about this. But tell this guy, hey, He lose his belts. He lose his mind. 2 years he didn't fight in UFC.
Last question. I know there's some rumors around a 165 belt being introduced one day. Would you be interested in fighting for a 165-pound title?
That's absolutely not
I
true.
like this weight. I like this weight. Why not 165, 175, or 170? Like, I think in future UFC gonna do these weights. Like right now, I don't know, and I don't think about these weights too. You know, because after tomorrow I have biggest fight in UFC history, and I'm more focused on this fight.
Khabib, when you sit down and visualize Saturday night, what do you envision happening in the octagon?
How I see fight is going? I think like beginning of the first round, I have to be careful with him because he have good timing, good boxing, you know. And but my wrestling and my pressure, he have to kill me for stopping, you know. Inshallah, I'm gonna stop this guy. I'm gonna finish this guy. This is my plan.
Khabib, over here, Khabib, to your right, Dana. Given what's happened in the build-up to this, and in New York, and the way you've been with each other, the discussion of Islam, the whiskey last week, has this become bigger than just a fight in a steel cage on a Saturday night?
Honestly, this is, for me, this is more than defend my title. For me, it's more than fight for the title, more than main event. You know, for me, it's personal. Honestly, for me, it's personal. And of course, this is biggest fight in UFC history, and we're gonna break this record. Numbers already talk about this, and you know, for me, it's personal.
Finally, do you believe that the way Conor McGregor behaves, not turning up on time, disrespects you as the champion and the sport?
I don't care about this. I don't care about this. You know, most important, this is believe myself. This is most important. I don't care about someone believe me or not. You know, this is, I don't care.
Habibi, you said before that you're gonna give him 25 minutes in jail inside the octagon. Do you still feel the same way? Is the fight going to decision?
Maybe decision. Maybe I'm gonna finish him, you know. But all the time when he tired, he give up. This is all the time. Like before fights, he talk like, I'm ready for this, I'm ready for this. When he fight with Diaz, when he fight with Mayweather, like, but when he tired, he give up all the time.
Khabib, over here to your left. How do you think your level of hunger in this fight compares to Conor's?
Say that again, honey. I'm sorry, I wasn't paying attention.
How do you think your level of hunger compares to Conor's?
Sorry about this because like I don't hear. Of course I believe myself. Of course. How I come here if I don't believe myself? I am UFC champion, and after I believe myself, you know. You know why I'm here? Because God helped me. That's why I'm here.
Do you think you want this more than Conor does now that Conor has money and fame? Who's hungrier?
We'll see. Saturday night, I'm gonna show this. Saturday night, all question is gonna be answered. Saturday night. Please wait. 2 more days.
And he didn't shit show. He did show that shit. Right. Where is everybody? Where is everybody? Okay. Wait, say what? What do you mean 0? What do you mean, dog? This streaming stuff is not easy. Yeah, alright. Oh, yeah. Oh.
How do you like Warzone? It's fun. It's a game. I mean, it's COD, right? So it's as long as you like COD, you're gonna keep playing, right? And everyone has a different like time span, lifespan for COD, right? Everybody, stops playing it at X amount of time. Usually, I play COD games for about 2 weeks, and then I'm probably done, and then I don't play till the next one. That's like kind of my lifespan on COD games usually. So I'm almost done, Like we've pretty much hit the 2-week mark for the most part, because when the game came out, I grinded it pretty hard for like a solid week. And I've been playing this pretty hard for about a week as well. So I'm about that 2-week lifespan, and then I'm gonna move on. That's just everyone has their own Call of Duty.
Does. What the fuck?
problem?
Yeah. Öyle bak. He's shooting through the thing from inside. He thinks somebody's looting there, and nobody's there. taste it.
lifespan. You guys know what I'm saying, right? You guys understand. Why was your lifespan on PUBG for so long? Because PUBG was like somewhat new, you know. No one's really done something like that, and they did a pretty good job. Granted, you go back and play PUBG now, you're gonna fucking hate your life, and that's just because when PUBG came out, it came out at a good time. It was kind of like a first, you know.
Alright, so do you guys know how the rules work, or?
You killed shit.
Eliminations, that's all that matters. Top 5 games of 5 hours.
Oh, so we didn't even miss much then. We're late.
I am John Paul Fox, a class marshal from Mather House.
And I'm Zach Corker, also a class marshal from the Great Mather House. And we are here to introduce to you the guest speaker of Class Day 2004.
February.
For us all.
Is now. Is now. Is now. Booyakasha. Professor G in the house, alright? Big shout going out to the Harvard Massive. I's done a capital H because Harvard is a place, innit? You see, I ain't no ignoramus. Things like apple and orange don't start with a capital letter unless they is the start of a sentence. But some of you brain boxers probably know that already, innit? My name be Ali G and me represent the UK. UK. Wherever. For those of you who didn't study geography, the UK is a place over 100 miles away from here. The capital of it is, anyone? No, not you, Geography Square. Yes, it's Liverpool. Clever and quite fly, if you don't mind me saying. First of all, I've got to say that I was a bit nervous speaking to so many of you. At least, me would be if I wasn't totally mashed. Normally, the only public speaking that me does is to 12 people. And it's well easy, all me has to say is my name and the words not guilty. Check it. Me agreed to speak here today because me wanted to talk to the brightest minds of our generation, to see what makes Harvard so special, and also because they agreed to pay for me flight over here in a hotel room. Sorry to bring this up now, but when you is told that your hotel bill is being paid for, you naturally assume that that includes essential extras like breakfast and special interest pay-per-view movies, innit? Imagine my surprise when this morning I was given a bill for $164. Me was actually trying to save Harvard money by buying the 24-hour Slutfest packages at $19.99. I mean, I could have paid for individual films at $11.99 each, which would have cost you Young and Tight, Backdoor Burglar 2, Backdoor Burglar 3, Campus Confessions, Asian Fever, Shaving Buffet. Saw that twice. Cold Mountain, that was a mistake. Backdoor Burglar 4, about $490. I mean, come off it. Some of it was even research for this. I assure one of the cheerleaders in Ivy League amateurs was wearing a Harvard sweatshirt. In fact, hello, darling. Respect. I expect you need a cushion to sit down on, all right? She's an artist. Anyways, I digest. It is a big honor to be asked here today. To think that so many great people has been educated here, like Lyndon Baines Johnson, or as him is known, JFK. Also, President George Clinton was here, innit, I think. And also the one before him, you know, and William Tell? Is he one of your lot? Probably, and some bloke with a hat. But most importantly, that really fit honey from Star Wars. If you was out there, me'd love to. Natalie? Me is staying at the Best Western Hotel. He's got a really nice room, although since this morning, the man's put a parental lock on the TV. As me stand here today, looking at all of you on your first day of university, me thinks of all the things me can offer you. Wisdom, experience, but most importantly of all, 22 ounces of the finest Moroccan chronic. Well, that is if the X-Lax works. To be honest, I usually go at 11 in the morning, but nothing there. In fact, me'd appreciate it if one of the medical students here wouldn't mind taking a look. Don't worry, it's clean as a whistle. You could eat your lunch off it. In fact, my Julie has. I know you don't mind that kind of thing, does you? Respect. Hear me now. You is the most cleverest of students in America. Some of you is probably brilliant at counting. You know, 1, 2, 3, 4. I could go on, easy. Others of you will be brilliant at English. I've memorized the entire alphabet, A to X. And even be able to spell words like hippopotamus. Incredible. I is also well clever. Me was so brainy that me finished my education 6 years before any of you at the age of 15. Even the teachers admitted that there was nothing else that them could teach me. You students, you has come here from every corner of the US. From the rainforest of Arizona to the deserts of Alaska. Some of you has probably never even seen a black man before. Hello. There is all types of people here, and it's fantastic to see that Harvard is finally letting so many women. A lot of you is probably feminists, or as we call them in England, lesers. I agree with you. Relationships should be brought into this, the 20th century. You women out there shouldn't have to do the cooking and the cleaning when you come home from work. You should do it before you leave in the morning, innit? Also, you women should only have to do half the housework. It's only fair that your mum should do the other half, isn't it? But more importantly, it's wicked that in Harvard, young women and men gets to learn so many amazing subjects. Some of you here will have been studying medicine. That knowledge comes with a lot of responsibilities. Remember, doctors is well powerful people. You can give life, you can cure disease, and you can ask to see a woman's without getting slapped. For those of you studying history, you probably learned enough about the presidents, like who was Jefferson, and what did Lincoln give America, apart from the town car. Some of you is the best legal students in the country. You would know without even having to think about it how to get someone off a charge of possession. And if any of you do, then room 204, Great Western. Best Western, innit? Just do me a favor, put your ear to the door and don't come in if you hear me shouting, Natalie, play with me lightsaber. You was well happy you was brought your grandparents, innit? Let's talk about the finances of all that knowledge that's been dropped on you the last few years. It costs $38,000 a year to go to Harvard. Now, I don't know how you lot has earned that, apart from you. And you has earned every penny. But most of you has got that cash from your parents. All you fathers out there, you has made some choices. With that money, you could have bought a top-of-the-range Lexus. But instead, you chose to invest in your kids' future. Is you mental? If you has got other kids, me obviously don't make the same mistake again, innit? Does you realize how many honeys you can get with a Lex? Hello, sweetness. My son's got a Harvard degree. What? Who cares? Or, hello, darling. Want to check out the DVD player in the back, all right? Oh, what's that? Ostrich leather. Oh. Not inappropriate, not inappropriate. That was in the balance, that one. So students, give it up for your parents. Give it up for them. Respect them. All right, enough. All right, chill out. Let's talk about the future, your future. A lot of you is probably worried about employment. Unfortunately, most of you will end up getting jobs, especially now you has got the burden of a degree. You is the elite. You'll be tomorrow's captains of industry. Sitting in front of me is probably the next Bill Gates, Donald Trump, and even Ronald McDonald. And even if you can't all be Ronald himself, most of you is probably McDonald's team leader material. By the way, if any of you ever gets to do business with Sir Ronald, a word of advice, don't mention the size of his feet. Him is well sensitive about it. My mate Dave actually met him and him said that even though he may seem like he's always smiling, there's a sadness in their eyes. Because of them feet. All the money in the world, science still can't do nothing. Maybe that's something that some of you MIT nerds can think about, innit? You lot will become powerful people who can change the future. And you need to, because the world at the moment is totally ucked. You know the word, I've been told I ain't allowed to say it. You know, the rude word. You definitely know. With the whole team. Anyhow, you has got to think about the problems in the world, because you has got to sort them out, innit? Look at the environment. In 100 years' time, there won't be no more rainforests. The ice caps will have melted. Actually, that's in 100 years' time, so we ain't going to be around then, so don't worry about that one. But there's other things. Look at the state of family today. Girls is having sex at younger ages. There's an increase in absentee fathers, and more people is having affairs. But we shouldn't just concentrate on the good things. Believing in something is easy. Doing something about it is hard. Actions speak louder than words. You has all got great potential to become great Americans. And remember, America is the greatest country in the whole world, apart from Jamaica and Holland. Oh yeah, and Thailand, because you got all the girls, you know. And probably some others, but you was definitely in the top 20. You people is the future. You has the chance to change the world, to actually improve the lives of people, to change the life of the poor. Or you could go to Wall Street and earn millions, get plasma screen, chinchilla coat, a series of meaningless relationships with gold-digging women who do things in return for bling. Don't waste the opportunity that God has given you. I'll see you in Wall Street. Let's wrap this up now, because we can feel something moving down below. Really regretting taking your grandparents now. So what is I hoping to take away with me from this time in Harvard? New friends, different ways of thinking about the world, and as many laptops as my mate Dave has managed to nick from your dorms while you has been sitting here listening to me stalling. But I has got ideals too, just like the great civil rights leader, Martin Luther Vandross. I has got a dream of little black girls and little white girls playing with each other. Let's make it happen. By the way, Kofi Annan's speech is pretty much like this tomorrow. Him is gonna have to come up with a whole new material. I look out and I see thousands of people with different hopes. But it's important never to forget where you come from. Because black, white, brown, or Pakistani, we all comes from the same place, the Punani. God bless. Big up yourself, Princeton. Keep it real, West Side.
Don't leave, Ali G. Ali G? Okay.
All right, well, while we're here, it's my pleasure.
Exactly.
I guess he said it all. He didn't really have anything else to say.
Exactly.
Well, it's my pleasure to introduce Benita Liao from Cabot House.
On behalf of the senior class, we'd like to thank you for coming to be our class day speaker. A little picture of all of us. I'll give it to the police officer, you can take it back for you.
And I guess this is very appropriate now.
Yes.
To initiate you into the class of 2004, we would like you to join us as we toast you with our first class Marshal Shaka,
Yes.
Benita and I.
That's beginning to hurt now. It's beginning to hurt.
So.
Police brutality.
Well, right, well, here's yours.
All right, thanks.
Well, here's to Ali G, class of 04.
All right, later.
Down on one.
We'll sort you out with some stuff later on, yo. Respect. Respect.
You know what the crazy thing is we're fighters, so the initial reaction is like, oh my God, I'm gonna go help my teammate. I'm gonna go fight. But
But then when I got out, I was like, wait a minute, what am I thinking? And so when I finally get to Habib, he's like, he's going crazy. It was the funniest shit I ever seen, honestly. Because here's the deal. Okay, I'll admit this. All right. For me, it sucks that it was like in front of all these people. But again, it was like a whole bunch of dudes just kind of fighting, acting crazy, right? It was like, what are you guys doing? It's like every city in the country, every Saturday in some freaking street bar or a club, this is going on. It just happened between a whole bunch of Russian guys and a whole bunch of Irish guys in front of millions of people. So for me, I had to kind of separate the idea that I was kind of laughing to like trying to go like, guys, we are probably in front of the biggest viewership we've ever had. So I walk over to Habib and the tall guy, tall English guy, the UFC security guy. Steve and my guy with the black hair, shorter. Kenny. Stephen Kenny. They've got Khabib, right? So Stephen Kenny got Khabib. Khabib's yelling. Ah! It's like, hey, Khabib. And then the guy, he sees me, gets, the guy's like, DC just said. He goes, this is my Capitan. Let him talk to me. I said, yo. He goes, what? I go, what the fuck is going on? I go, what are you doing? He goes, I want my belt. I go, okay, just relax. He goes, just give me my belt. Because I guess Dad told me he wasn't getting his belt. So I go, come on, guys, take him back to the cage, let him get his belt, we'll get him out of there. So then we get back to the cage, and Dana comes over. And I'm like, hey, just give him his belt. He goes, I'm not giving him his belt out here. He goes, if I put this belt around him right now, these people are gonna start throwing shit. He goes, they're gonna throw stuff into the octagon. He goes, it's gonna get bad. So people's like, what are you talking about? Give me my belt. He's yelling, going crazy. And finally, I convince him and go, hey man, if they give you the belt, they're gonna start throwing stuff at you. And it's gonna get ugly in here. And he goes, I go, we have to just go back to the back. And he's like, but where's my belt? I go, he'll give it to you in the locker room. Like he was just solely focused on the belt at this point. I guess he had done whatever he wanted to do, and now he just wanted his belt. So we leave and we finally get him going back, and sure as shit, they start throwing stuff at us when we're walking out of the arena. And then when we get to the locker room, I asked him, I go, hey, he goes, yeah. I go, so what was the desired outcome there? I go, did you want to step on his head? Like, what did you want to do? Like, what in your mind were you wanting to accomplish? Were you going to drop kick him, double foot kick him? Like, what were you doing? He goes, brother, I don't know. I lose my mind. I said, I know you did. Sorry. It was funny. I thought it was okay. I mean, it sucked. He's going to get fined, but, you know, whatever. You know, it is what it is. It happened.
Were you surprised that it happened the way it did? Like, when Habib went over the cage, like, you know Habib real well. Were you surprised that he was capable of doing that after a fight?
No. No. Because one time I did him something and hurt his neck at practice, and they were about to kick my ass. Like, seriously. They all started standing up, and they were kind of surrounding me. Ask Sean Bunch. Bunch came over. They was about to get you. I said, I think so. It's like, those guys don't play around, man. It's like, they got up. They actually got up and like, I was like, hey, man, don't ever come in here and try to jump me. It's my gym, you know? But, like, they don't mess around, man. Khabib does not play around, and he is honestly the crown jewel of that circle. They love him, and rightfully so. We all do, too. So when he felt that that was happening and the disrespectful, I mean, I just didn't know what was going to happen. But I know that during the build-up, he wasn't building a fight. He was just getting madder and madder and madder. And Conor's still just building a fight. So it just was kind of, they were on two different wavelengths.
Is there a difference between what Steve did and what the other guys who jumped in the cage and Conor did? Or is it all just the guy?
It's kind of all shit, you know, but the reality is, like, the guy that punched Conor, that was bad, man. He shouldn't have been in there to do that. You know, I can't condone that action. Conor hit Manop, the guy that fights in the World Series fight.
Oh, hello. It's Vitaly. Hello. Yeah, it's Vitaly. Just want to double check you got my hours from last week. What? Wait, what? No, no, vai a fanculo, va. Ma se mi hai appena risposto, coglione di merda. Aio, a stronzo. What do you mean, please text me? Oh, alright, sure. Sorry about that. Alright.
Граната тут!
Oh my god, what the fuck was that? Right, that was bad position for me. I don't know where I stay there. Should have moved again. Stupid. I think I'm lagging a bit. I have too much stuff open. Not good. Not good. And plus I ate that that's so many things. Excuses, excuses, but I don't feel good. I don't think I feel good. Something is off. Oh my god.